You fire it and it just shoots that paint right off fire.
Hmm.
You know, I put Tester's model airplane paint on it, and it lasts for years. You know, just overall good. It really works. Works nice.
I think you might need to move the camera this way just slightly bit for the
Why?
barrel.
Why?
I mean,
Ooh, what?
no, I mean, put the pistol back in your hand and then like extend like you're going to do the shoot. It looked like it was barrel was cut off in the video. That's all. I'm just trying to help you out.
Hey y'all, our this afternoon, this is your buddy George Jones over at the Bergen Gun Range with my next installment on, hey, let's talk about an obsolete ammunition. This is a 38 Wad Cutter. It is flat on the end, got a little snout of a thing there, dimple, reverse dimple. These bullets are solid. Some Wad Cutters are hollow base, like a Foster deer slug, but these are solid. These 148 grain, and these are made by Magtech, which is down in South America. Currently, to my knowledge, there is no new manufacturer producing Wad Cutter ammunition. It's 148 grains. 9.59 grams. I don't know what that means. Don't care. Okay. LWC, lead Wad Cutter. Now, why are we having this video? Well, a couple of reasons. One, Wad Cutter ammunition is still a viable cartridge. Now, the reason why it went away, for the most part, all the manufacturers used to manufacture new Wad Cutter ammunition, and most of the reloaders used to reload, Wad Cutter ammunition. What happened to the Wad Cutter was a diametric shift in professional target shooting in America. Namely, they went away from bullseye shooting to some form of gay dance routine with a semi-automatic pistol. So you're running and dodging and jumping and doing all this stuff with a semi-automatic pistol, and you've got all these crazy scenarios and so forth. Whereas back in the day when I was a state pistol champion, you stood there like this and waited for them to blow the whistle so you could shoot the gun. Okay? And in 25 yards, you didn't put them all in an 8-inch circle, you weren't no good. 25 yards, you didn't fire 24 rounds in 18 seconds out of a 5-shot revolver, and have them all either in the 10 or in the X-ring, most of them connecting. You just weren't no good. And a lot of cartridges went under the bridge while I was waiting to get good at it. But at one point, long about 1999, 2000, I started getting real good at it. 2001, I was state champion. Anyway, in 2006, 2009, and then long about that time, they shifted and went to a more combat style deal, which I just really couldn't get into. I didn't have the time or wherewithal to go into another discipline of shooting. I was pretty happy where I was. So, why do you have it? Why is it flat on the end? Well, I'll tell you. If I can find a box of 38s around here. I've got a box of 38s somewhere. Here we go. Here's a box of 38s. This 158 grain round nose lead leaves a ragged hole in a paper target. This leaves a nice clean hole in a paper target. Easy to score. Okay, and in the days when you were scoring line breakers, if you break the line on between the 9 and the 10, it was a 10. So it was pretty important to be able to well define a bullet hole, and that's what this was for. Now, there was a a trade-off to Wad Cutter. Wad Cutter is typically a light load. It's typically, I don't know, 850, 900 feet per second. It's typically a light load, low recoil, and very accurate within a certain range differential. Well, out to about 25 yards. Very accurate bullet. But that's not the subject of conversation here. The subject of conversation here is the difference between this and this in a bad guy. Now, if you're carrying a 2-inch 38, I carry a Model 36 sometimes. Sometimes I carry a 10-8, carry 2-inch 6-shot 38. A full blast 357, 38 special plus P is just unmanageable out of a 2-inch barrel gun. So it's nice to have something that's a little bit lighter shooting, so you have a little bit better chance of a recovery shot, second shot, whatever, because you got a 6-shot revolver, you only got 6. You're going to put 2 in him right off the bat. That leaves you with 4. If that didn't do it, you're going to put 2 more in him. Now you're down to 2. See? So you have to think about it that way. So what's the advantage of, other than low recoil and better shot recovery, what's the advantage of a Wad Cutter over a round nose or a hollow point? Well, hollow points are kind of expensive, first of all. And out of a 2-inch barrel gun, I've found that hollow point ammunition is not typically very stable. Okay, not flight stable. That's why they don't shoot good at long range. Okay. Wad Cutters are very flight stable. They have another problem, or another advantage. When you shoot somebody with that round nose lead bullet, or shoot somebody with a round nose bullet, or shoot somebody with a taper nose bullet, the only part of the bullet that does any physical damage to tissue is on the very tip. Okay? That's where the damage to tissue is occurring. When you shoot somebody with a Wad Cutter, it's like taking a power drill with a 3/8-inch bit in it and drilling a hole in somebody. Yeah, they got that 3/8-inch hole in there that doesn't close back up. Blood comes out of it like a fire hose. Okay, it produces a great deal of wounding power. It typically won't ricochet off a bone. It'll typically break it. Okay, and that's a good thing. Mr. Assailant is not your friend. This ain't the nice and friendly world, and Officer Friendly went home and retired a long time ago. He's sitting in front of the damn TV watching Oprah Winfrey and eating cookies. Okay, this is the real world. So a Wad Cutter is a fairly effective anti-personnel round just on the basis of the way it's made and the wound damage it creates. How accurate is it? My experience has been that Wad Cutters, regardless of manufacturer, are very accurate. We shoot a few of them, find out. Now, I've never fired this MagTech ammunition before, and we're going to use the something I grew up with, which is the old, what is it? Is it a police positive, or it's an official police? The later models of them, they both look about alike. I keep getting confused. Let's put about 6 rounds in it. Since they took out all my teeth at the hospital, I've developed a little bit of a whistle sometimes when I talk, especially on S's. Our buddy Stephen Filipolovic, we were down at Dixie Gunworks a couple of weeks ago doing a video, and he said, "Talking to you is like trying to talk to a groundhog." All right, let's see if we can get some shooting done here. Steel silhouette at 25 yards. Let's see how we can hit it. We can hit it. We can probably hit it. I didn't like that. What's dragging here? Something's dragging here. All right. Let's see if we can hit it. Yeah, we can hit it. Not too bad. Yeah. Didn't hit it that time. Let's try a square plate. This thing's got a trigger like a staple gun. Yeah, well. Yeah. Somebody was nice enough to come over here and shoot up our good target stand with a shotgun. Let's compare it to 158 grain round nose lead at 1200 feet a second. About 1150, just about at the disintegration speed of a lead bullet. They say hard cast lead and all that stuff. When it comes right down to it, the disintegration speed of a lead projectile is about 1100 feet per second. So you don't want them at there any faster than that. I will confess that these are my reloads. They are a Hornady 158 grain round nose lead with a powder lubrication on them, and I think it's HS 2000 at 1100 feet a second. If I got it right. I may not have got it right. Hand cramp. Old guy hand cramp. That's about it. So they shoot about the same as MFRs, my funky reloads. But it comes right down to it. In a close range fight, a Wad Cutter will probably do you better. I've always been a believer in them. I carry Wad Cutters in my personal defense revolvers, and I've never had to plug anybody with them. Boy, they did a job on a groundhog one time, man. I was over here one day and I had that 2-inch 38 on my hip, and there's a cotton picking groundhog. Walked right out there about 20 yards. Of course, they're in season year round. You know, I got more or less license for everything, and senior sportsman. I just pulled that thing out, and hell, you look like I shot him with a 30-06. All right, then, that's about the size of it for a new ammunition that's on the market, the MagTech 148 grain Wad Cutter. Like to take Surefire, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me an old $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to. I've got a GoFundMe page now to pay my final expenses. So if you take a notion to GoFundMe, you know, there'll be a link on this video. So like that. Yeah, we're down to that now. All right then. Love your neighbor. Join the NRA. God bless America, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye now. He's got a Thompson. He thinks he's a gangster. God help us.
Chief, only way we're getting in there, bust our way in.
And now you know why people love them.
Thank you all. Subscribe.